BigDos is here and welcome to another video. Before we start off, I want to thank you guys so much for the massive support that I'm getting. We reached 500 subs at the end of the year and that's in a time frame of 5 months. 500 subs, you guys are amazing. So thank you very much for that. I hope you all had a great New Year's and well, my goal for the new year is to reach 1,000 subs at the end of the year. Would be amazing. So keep up the support, keep up the feedback because I really need it. But in this run, we are doing a Halls of Atonement plus 18. Our group leader asked for a Venthyr and I decided to swap Covenants. I usually play Nightfang these days because I really like the burst, but I decided to play some Venthyr. What we did is we ran with this item setup with these stats, and we ran with the legendary Pouch of the Razor Fragments because we have that one, and I think it's really good for when you play Venthyr. So we ran with that. For our, oh, there we go. For our conduit, we ran with Theater, and well, it's mostly the standard stuff, like this one, for example, that Flate Shot damage is increased or as more chance to proc, the standard thing. But what we also did is we decided to run with this one, Ferocious Appetite. Kill commands, critical hits reduce the cooldown of Aspect of the Wild by 2.5 seconds. And why did we do that? Because our Aspect of the Wild is a cooldown of 2 minutes, so if you do it with Wild Spirits as a Night Fae, then it lines up perfectly. So that's fine, you do that. But because our Flate Shot or our Flate Shot is only a 30-second cooldown, I thought, well, let's try and reduce the cooldown of Aspect and see if we can line them up more often. So yeah, we just tried that out. So guys, if you like the video, leave a like, and if you really like it, then subscribe to the channel and enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. So there we are again. Sorry for the weird segue. I had some trouble with the editing and well, let's say it didn't go entirely as planned, but here we are, and now we can comment on the video. I did not do this live because I was talking with a friend of mine. The mage is a friend of mine, and we were talking Dutch because, well, I'm Dutch, and so this video would not be any use to like most of you guys because I can see from which countries you are, or some of you, and not that many Dutch people. So yeah, here we used our Flate Shot on the big mob. Why is that? Because Flate Shot takes 18 seconds, and in those 18 seconds you will deal the full amount of damage, and you have the most amount of time to get procs. So if you do it on a mob which dies after 6 seconds, your Flate Shot is gone to waste. That's why we are using it on the big guy, so we have it up for the entire duration. So yeah, that's on this pool. It's amazing. Shard of Halkias, great. As I said earlier, we are playing Venthyr, of course, and we are running with Pouch of the Razor Fragments, and I think it's a really fun legendary to play with. If you guys watch the video from the start, and I don't know if some of you guys paid attention to the first pool, well, let's say I forgot to summon my pets at the first pool, or at least the first start of the pool, so a lot of my damage was negated there because, well, there was no pets running around dealing damage. So it was pretty dumb of me. But yeah, shit happens. let's call it that. But yeah, guys, how was your New Year's? Did you have a good time? And do you have like things that you want to achieve? Yeah, let me know. I think it's fun to share, and let me know if you have something to share. So Hunter's Mark on this guy is, of course, because, well, Thresh deals a lot of damage, so we Hunter's Mark him. Although I think this run, because it's an 18 and I was not paying all that much attention, I was just, you know, paying mostly attention to my kill shot, if I could use it, yes or no. So I was making some mistakes here and there, and I'm not using my defenses to the best of my abilities. That is because, well, it's an 18 and it's not that hard anymore. So yeah. Here I walk out of the group just to be safe. I should walk in now, but the next sphere is not coming, so I'm fine where I'm standing. In this run, we are running with, I think I choose Champion's Brand here. Yeah, because it is mob week, so Champion's Brand is more useful than Dagger of Necrotic Wounding, because the boss fights don't last that long. Besides that, as mentioned earlier, we are using the conduit, which gives us reduced cooldown on our aspect if we crit more. So if we use Champion's Brand, we get more crit, and if we have more crit, we have a higher crit chance, or a higher chance to crit on our kill command. And if we have a higher chance to crit on our kill command, then our aspect will also will be reduced more. So yeah. Here our tank decided to just casually walk out, swap some talents, and come back in. So yeah, that's something that apparently just happens. I don't know. Not seen that many times before. Glad I didn't. What I could be doing now is use my Hunter's Mark on the Shard of Halkias, and I should be using my Feign Death for this trash to reduce the damage even more. Which both of them I am not doing. Or actually, I noticed that I did actually use my Feign Death. What I could have done there to prevent me from dying was use my Survival of the Fittest to reduce the damage by 20% more. But yeah. This run was by far the smoothest run I've ever done. I am pre-made with the mage, but the rest is bugs, and yeah. It's not the cleanest run at all. I have to say that I'm really enjoying the Venthyr Covenant though, and you will see shortly when we're doing the first boss. The single target damage is quite crazy. Of course, that is with like the two gargoyles, but still the damage is quite high, and I like that. So I think I should be try and play it some more, especially in 9.2. I think Venthyr could be pretty viable. Of course, yeah, I think it could be a pretty viable option. I think Night Fae will win, of course, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well, the main mob is the inspiring mob, which prevents us, of course, from seeing the rest. Was almost doing a cast that would have been lethal for the tank, and the tank is already struggling very hard, as you can see. Here the tank dies, and what we can do is we try and prolong this pool, because the rest of us is not dead, so we're starting to kite this. So what you can do is throw down your tar trap, maybe like hard CC another mob with your frost trap if needs be. But yeah, it wasn't really necessary on this one. Because we have a mage who was also already slowing the mobs down pretty big, so we didn't really need to do anything more than with what we were doing. Yeah, here's Sogadon. It's an easy fight. I could have used my disengage there before getting dragged in, of course, to not die. Or not die. Sorry guys, sorry. It's not the dying part, it's like getting dragged in. We can just negate that by using disengage. I don't know if we can actually feign death it. I don't know if you guys know. If you do, leave it in the comments, because I really want to know. And when I'm in here myself again, I'm just gonna try it out on Sogadon. Try and like do a feign death before he tries to grip you. Like maybe he doesn't target you then? I don't know. Well, on the Venthyr Covenant, because that's more the specific one that we're rolling with here, What I do like is if you have Pouch of the Razor Fragments, of course, because then you will do a kill shot and it will do a dot on like all the targets around it, or I think no 5 or 6 targets. But getting the proc sometimes feels really bad, because sometimes you're just not getting any procs. Like this fight, I'm getting. This is my first proc, and as you will see on the first boss fights, I get proc after proc after proc, and it feels so much better and so satisfying to play if you have a lot of procs. But if you don't, then it doesn't really feel that satisfying. Here what I could be doing is throwing a binding shot down so the tank can just run up to the next spike in the room beside here, rooting them, and we can all cleave them down and you know, step up the pace of the dungeon a little more. But it's an 18 and our damage is high enough, so it's not that necessary, but it could be better, it could be smoother. Here, kick to collect sins. I'm not kicking it, by the way. I do have it off cooldown. I'm not kicking it. That's what you get when you start like talking to people on headsets. And in the future, I actually really want to stream, but this is one of the things that I'm worried about. Is when I play and I have to talk, then I just simply play worse. I don't know how it's with you guys, but I noticed this a lot by myself, so yeah. That's the thing. There we go. All smooth sailing here. I could have been Hunter's Marking again and using Feign Death on this as well. That would have been reduced the damage by 15%, so it's something that I could have been doing to most definitely make the life of the healer a bit easier. Here we just eat some mage food to get our stacks of what's it called? Grievous off. I found it very annoying that the tank didn't pull these because we needed them for count, so I decided to pull them for him. That was not a proper way for me. I just decided to do it. Yeah, it was a dick move. Let's be honest, it was a dick move. I should not have done that, but yeah. Because I play tank myself as well, as a protection paladin sometimes, and I actually find it annoying, and yet still I've done it to him now, but yeah. Flate shot, this target is not gonna live the full 18 seconds, so I might have, well actually it is surviving, because as you can see here on the left he is still standing, he's not being killed, but well normally he would have died, and I would have gone into this pool with like about 16 seconds or so left on my flate shot before I could use it in this pool. Now it didn't really matter because I didn't get any procs in that fight whatsoever, so it didn't help me out at all. And again on this fight as well, I'm not doing so great on the proc department. But if you do get the procs though, it's really satisfying because it's strong on single target, but like with the legendary, it's really strong on AoE as well. Here I'm holding. No, I'm not actually holding. Yeah. That was the thing I was thinking about, because I was thinking about holding my Bestial Wrath there, because we're going into the boss fight. But then I thought about it, because the last time I did this run, and I told you guys as well about that, I actually did use my, or I hold my Bestial Wrath. But by the time these Loyal Stoneborns are tagged and I got them in my control and I pumped 2 of my Barb Shot into the boss, we have Bestial Wrath back. So yeah, I should not have been holding like I did this run. As you can see here, we have Bestial Wrath just from the start. And now we do Helkias, and you can see in the bottom right corner our DPS. And we're currently up to 16k, single target DPS. This is not a number I'm usually on, so I'm pretty happy about that. The loyal Stoneborns, of course, are a big part of this damage. That makes sense, I guess. They deal a lot of damage. I don't know why though. I don't know why Blizzard hasn't made it so that those guys' damage don't add up to the player's damage as well. Just like in what's the dungeon called? Necrotic Wake? Yeah. There the weapons are like damage of yeah, a separate list, and here the damage is that of the players. I like it though, because it makes me look good. But yeah, I don't know why that is. Here, try and stand in the shade, because it gives you a shit ton of mastery. So yeah, stand in it. What I should be doing, as you can see the puddle on the right, where what was thrown at me, the ads were well, not ads, but those guys with the umbrellas. I don't know what they are called. The shade was still there, just a little off center. So what I could have been doing was just standing slightly besides the puddle and still stand in the shade, and probably still be getting the mastery buff, which would then increase our overall damage just by so little. But yeah, it's the little things to do to increase our DPS. Echelon, this is on boss week, I think one of the harder fights. On mob week, he is not so bad. What you want, of course, if you're lucky, is that you get a kill shot proc with a pouch of the Razor Fragments, just like I'm getting here, when the mobs are all there. Because yeah, they are all getting a dot, so you deal quite a lot of damage on them. There I try to disengage, because if you disengage when he leaps towards you, you can leap out of the damage that he deals, which is amazing. But I was standing so close to him that the leap distance for him was very short, and then he still hit me. If he has to leap further, you have a chance to dodge, because I was spamming the button to disengage, so I know there was no chance for me to dodge it. Here, Flade Shot, of course, don't use them on those Undying Stone Fiends. I assume that makes sense. I assume you guys understand why that is. Don't do that, because they die within a matter of seconds, and you lose like the Flade Shot buff, which can last for 18 seconds. So only use it on the boss here. Here I have my aspect up again, Flade Shot up, Bestial Rats coming off cooldown as well, and we get quite a nice amount of kill shot procs again, making our DPS even in single target fairly high. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. There I used my trinket, my IQD, because it said execute, and then it deals quite a high amount of execute damage. So I was like, well, let's try it. But then I realized, clicking it, that there were also a lot of small mobs. So I don't know if the execute damage was on the boss itself, or if it was on like one of those smaller minions. It doesn't really matter damage-wise, but you want the boss to die quicker, of course. Something I want to try out as well, which I haven't tried out, and I'm lucky on this one because I'm not getting any of those Infernos on me, which is fine. But what I don't know is like this Scorching Blast cost, which he does. If I can feign that just before he casts it, if it just swaps to another target or not. I do not know if it works that way. Would be pretty nice, but here we are not getting hit by it at all, so we're fine on that one. I should have actually Hunter's marked him as well to reduce his damage, which I also did not do. I was not on point this dungeon. If rewatching this, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really on point. Not doing my job very well. But oh well, shit happens, and we still managed to do the dungeon fine. So yeah. You can see on the health bars, the mob on the right was yellow for a bit. That means that the aggro from that mob was slowly going towards me instead of being on the tank. And so I decided not to hit him in any way because I was afraid to get the aggro entirely, and he started shooting at me and I would die. I don't really want that, so yeah. On those hounds, if you don't kick the cast where they enlarge and then start mauling your tank and your tank starts crying and stuff like that, what you can do is use your tranquilizing shot to remove the enrage, or well, to remove that effect, and then your tank will be happy again. He will stop crying, and yeah, all is fine. So yeah, do that if you can. But yeah, if those mobs die so quickly, then well, and your tank is kiting properly, then you don't really have to worry about it. But yeah. Here I'm firing off my flayed shots the entire time. I'm not gonna hold on to them because I really want them to, yeah, to put them in as much as I can. Try and deal as much damage as I can. This was really awkward. Not gonna lie, this was really awkward because we are standing in this like center, and you want both loyal Stoneborns for the next boss fight. That's pretty nice. But here we are standing in the center, and this guy will shoot a beam at some point, or like use that. There you can see that our druid healer stepped a little much to the left and got tagged the loyal Stoneborn. So I decided to mind control him just right off the bat. I was like, rather mind control this guy and use him in the fight with Aura's Cold Heart than just wait and deal with him while moving up to the boss and then, you know, getting two. Luckily the tank dragged the second one up as well. I'm spamming the button, but I can't mind control it. So we're just gonna do this fight with the loyal Stoneborn and the boss. But there you can see the loyal Stoneborn flies away, and I instantly decide to grab the other one. So we have at least one for this fight, which helps me out again on the damage department. Well, thinking about it is just go, if you go Halls of Atonement, just go Venthyr if you can for the loyal Stoneborns, because it really is nice for your damage. On the other hand, on this dungeon, Night Fae and Kyrian are pretty nice because you have pretty big pools, and there they really shine, especially Night Fae, I think. So yeah, it's a hard one. But guys, if you are still watching this, then consider leaving a like and or subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a ton. I already got a lot of support from you guys, and I'm very happy about it. But if you want to support me more, and you have not subscribed, then well, consider doing that and or liking the video. And if you have any questions or feedback or things that I'm doing wrong, or what you think that, yeah, where I can improve or what I'm doing right, then yeah, put that in the comments. Someone wrote earlier on comments about me using like icy veins and stuff like that as the backbone of my guides, and they came with a real good advice, because I thought that it was good a good platform to use the information from. But they came with really great advice on where they got it from, and I really like that. So yeah, be like that and give me feedback on what I can improve, because I really want to make something awesome of this channel and something awesome. But yeah, to manage to do that, then I will need some feedback and advice from you guys. So yeah, leave it there. Also, if there is a dungeon that you want to see, or me making a guide of something, well, of course, Hunter specific, and please keep it. Don't do survival yet, because I don't know anything about survival. But if you guys want to see anything, then just put it in the comments, and I can try and yeah, see if I can make it happen. I usually bug all my dungeon runs, so like getting into a group with to do like a 25 or something. Yeah, that stuff is not really gonna happen, and I don't play enough to, and I'm not good enough to manage to make videos about that. But around the 20s, and if you want a certain dungeon and some guides, then yeah, I can do that. But put it in the comments what you want to see. Here I used everything because this guy always takes quite some time, and well, of course we are using kill command, which sometimes crits, and if it crits, our aspect gets reduced. So yeah, I'm trying to reduce the kill our aspect here, so we get it before the next fight. Well, that's not something that's gonna happen. I am holding my Flayed Shot because I really want to use it here. Our aspect is off cooldown, or on cooldown, sadly, but yeah, it is what it is. There we go. This fight is, I think, one of the easier fights. You just need to look out a bit. Besides that, it's pretty easy. Although the lines that come from the boss that needs to be soaked, that damage is sometimes so high, and now it's mob week, so now it's not that bad. But especially when it's boss week, I think it's pretty darn hard, and your healer usually struggles a lot. Also, we are not really capable of dealing with this greatly. What I should be doing here again is Hunter's marking this guy and using Feign that. Then I could have reduced that damage, but the healer held us up fairly easy there, so we were fine. And here I think I'm using Survival of the Fittest, yeah, to reduce the damage as well. I am using it a bit early. I could have waited like a little longer, like when the channel hits. Also, I'm using health pots all the time to make sure that I stay alive as well. But yeah. There we go. And then we are slowly getting to the end of the dungeon. The run overall was quite smooth. There I just casually got hit in the face by a statue, which was pretty dumb. But yeah, I should not have gotten hit. Luckily it didn't kill me now. But in boss week that would have killed me, and then it was a waste. But we cleared it with plenty of time left, and a tank that walked out of the dungeon mid fight. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.